Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's really enjoying this glorious sunny day here on Saturday the 11th of April, but most importantly, keep staying home. So in my last video, I kind of gave a general overview of some thoughts and feelings about things that have happened, and I'm doing this because Cambridge University are asking people to keep a record of their thoughts and feelings and about everything that's happening because of this virus, so that future generations can look back and talk about it, because this is a very momentous thing in British or in world history. So today I'm going to talk a bit more about how my university experience has been disrupted because of the virus. So I'm just going to talk about kind of the weeks leading up to me leaving and why why I came back, and how my subjects have changed, how my subjects assessments have been changed. So I spoke briefly about that in my last video. So the way I'm being assessed for my modules has had to be adapted a bit more. So all this I'm going to go more into as I do this video. So I was following the news quite closely with myself and my housemates, because one of my housemates was from Hong Kong and knew people in the area where the virus started. So we were very wary of it going on, and we did sense that it could become a thing, and we did kind of follow the news as much as we could, whilst trying to kind of keep calm and carry on as much as we could with our modules and meeting deadlines, as well as keeping ourselves okay. But in the lead up, I think we were getting more and more tense, because we were sensing that it was very likely that it was going to come over, and it made being on campus there was a real feeling of anxiety and sort of tension, I would say, on campus at that point, because people were very wary that it could come over, and there was a chance that it would mean that the university would close. So that when it was announced that the virus had come to the country, things started happening very, very quickly. So the university was, well, and still is still really is in keeping with the government's advice, and has shut the university and stopped contact hours, and has disallowed any meetings between 3 or more students. But the thing is, the university that I went to closed later than other universities, and because of that, and because there's a real debate between how much money students pay to be at university, as well as how the university safeguards its international students, it meant that there were a lot of petitions going round on social media to close the university, adopt a non-detriment policy, which it now has done, to reimburse students, as well as other things. And if I'm going to be very honest, I did kind of find it all quite overwhelming, because there were so many coming up at once, and I was being invited to sign those petitions by like lots and lots of people. So I was getting several invites, and that really made the feeling of being overwhelmed and anxious much worse. So it really really knocked into my anxiety as a neurodiverse person, because even though I knew that if they did close the university I wouldn't be surprised, it was kind of like I really didn't want the university to close, because I had a set routine at university. We were so close to the end of term, and I was nearing the end of my time of hands-on contact with my lecturers because I'm a final year at university. So it kind of made it more, in that way, it kind of made the reality kind of much more real. But I didn't sign those petitions, and the reason was I just didn't feel kind of ready to at the time, because I was feeling, because my anxiety about my routine, the structure of my week and my time at university was beginning to be broken down. In that way, I do kind of wish people who invited me to sign the petitions would have taken at least a minute of their time in the day to message me going, Elle, are you okay? How do you feel about this? Because the vast majority of people I know at university know that I'm different. They know that I'm neurodiverse, and they know that I need structure and routine, and change is very difficult for me. So I do wish people had taken the time to check in on me, so I wouldn't have sort of felt the pressure in that way. The way that I was assessed my modules have now changed. So I would have classes twice a week with my playwriting lecturer, and with my class we would have a 9 till 12 on a Wednesday morning, followed by a 4 till 6 on Thursday, both of which had to stop, and those classes were the only things that would make me come to campus. They were the only classes I would have in my week, because for my dissertation I'd only have fortnightly meetings with my supervisor and with the group that I was a part of, which was a group of 7 students that he was advising on their dissertations, as well as maybe taking advantage of my tutor's office hours to go and see him. And on campus I often liked having lunch at the Goal, because I felt, I was getting enough to eat, and I would be okay for the rest of the day, because in winter and in this spring term just gone, sometimes I would stay on campus till about 10 o'clock at night. So I would be there maybe either at 9 a.m. for my 9 a.m. or slightly later, and I'd be there till quite late. So I wanted to make sure that I would have enough to eat. So having those things taken away really, really quickly it really did take a lot out of me, and it did make me really quite jittery just about everything. Like, it was like the smallest thing could set me off. Because I'm a final and third year, I'm supposed to graduate in July. At Kent, the graduations normally happen in July and take place in Canterbury Cathedral, where students have to hire robes and they collect their diploma from whoever it is presenting it. And since the university closed, there hasn't been any announcement as to what's happening with that. I'm someone who really want the graduation to happen, because, not gonna lie, I've had a tough few years at university, and there's been a lot that's taken a lot out of me emotionally and mentally that I've had to build myself up from. So to me, the graduation ceremony is a mark going, well done, Elle, you got through this time, look at how well you've done. And I'd be really disheartened if the graduation didn't go on at all, and they'd have to do something like post our certificates in the post. It did mean that I also saw less and less of my friends during the lead up to them, and so because I hadn't been cast in any shows, I really felt much more isolated and unwanted and cut off, and it felt much worse than it had done before. So since I've come back, they've now stopped spring term the week they stopped spring term before the 2nd of April, so I've now had to hand in like my playwriting script virtually via Moodle instead of the live reading, and I've recently handed in my 3,000 word drama essay because I want to focus on my dissertation. So it feels really difficult, the fact that I didn't really get a chance to say goodbye to people, and I haven't really said goodbye to the friends that I have made in the second year, as in the year below me, as well as one or two lovely freshers who have really stood out to me as being really amazing individuals. So in summer term there would have been like shows from T24 and Showcase, but they won't be, but because when I wasn't cast again, I did feel very upset, and I did feel angry and let down, because even though I felt really angry and upset, now it's gotten to the stage where other things have now happened. It does feel very weird that I've been sort of spared that disappointment. So I think generally among people the mood is just very much of disappointment. Everyone's discombobulated and everyone's very anxious, which is really hard to get your head around. So I'm supposed to be moving on to a master's in September, but there's still a lot of uncertainty in that at the moment, because I don't know if it will go ahead just the September start, or how things are going to change. So yeah, I hope this has given you a bit of insight into kind of, as a neurodiverse person, how things have been disrupted and how I felt. And so I hope someone out there might take something from this and feel less on their own, like you're not the only one to be going through this. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I know it's been quite a long one, this one, but keep staying well and keep staying home. Alright everyone, take care, bye.